Hello, hello, hello. I am Grum, coach and general manager of your Philadelphia T-Tars, and we are here with our Season 5 UNPL Draft Analysis. We are returning to our first ever Wi-Fi League, the UNPL, for their 5th season, and my God, do they have a star-studded cast of 16 general managers featuring returning UNPL opponents Dapper Snapper, Grandmaster D-Ray, and the defending champion Gentleman Thomas, who eliminated us in the quarterfinals of the playoffs last year. If you like competitive Pokemon content, especially Draft League, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe for more in the future. And if you're a real sicko or you just want to support even further, check out the Patreon in the description below for more behind-the-scenes look and exclusive access, including early uploads of videos just like this. Before we get into breaking down the team, let me go over the changes a little bit to the UNPL from the previous season. The roster is going to be capped at 11, so between 9 to 11 Pokemon with a team cap of 115 points. We can have a maximum of 3 Terra Captains, but only Pokemon who are worth 6 points or less are eligible to be Terra Captains. Captains cannot exceed 12 points combined, so that means a 6, a 4, and a 2-point Pokemon, a 6 and a 6-point Pokemon, a 3, 4, and 5-point Pokemon, but nothing more than 12. And lastly, Captains can have any 3 types for their Terra types. That means if it's a fighting type, it can be a Dark, Psychic, and Flying. It doesn't need to be a fighting type. There's some notable Pokemon clauses, such as Arena Trap not being banned at all, so Dugtrio and Gothitelle can have it no problem. And only one Ogerpon can be rostered at a time. That means if somebody selects Ogerpon Wellspring, that the other 3 forms are off the board entirely. As my pick approach, I look towards starting the team off by grabbing a piece of a core, ideally a Dragon Fire Steel core. I had my eyes on a couple of dragons, with my ideal pick being Gouging Fire. And after the first 8 picks, I started to think, oh, maybe he actually will fall. But after only 1 dragon went in the first 8 picks, the league went on a run, as 4 of the 7 picks leading to mine were a dragon type, leaving me looking at potentially grabbing a fun bear core of Urshifu Rapid Strike as a water type and Blood Moon Ursaluna just as a fun thing. But I decided to stay the course. With our first pick, say hello to the bad guy, as we selected Roaring Moon, a Pokemon I really love the design of. I mean, a prehistoric Salamence that looks like a more natural Mega Salamence? Come on. But on top of that, this is a really good Pokemon. Base 139 attack and 119 speed, meaning this thing hits fast and hard. It can either run Choice Band or Scarf, booster energy to activate its photosynthesis ability to give it a boost to either attack or speed, Life Orb to give a general boost to its attack, but this thing could even run an Assault Vest to take advantage of its respectable special bulk. Razor Ramoon can break through walls or be a late game sweeper for us. With a Pokemon like Roaring Moon, I thought about our next pick and opted to select a Pokemon that can help Roaring Moon out with its fairy weakness. And I don't think there's a better mon for that than our 2nd round pick. You can run or you can choose to follow the buzzards, but it doesn't matter, as Wyatt the Iron Moth is here. A massive 140 special attack, a respectable 110 speed, and an underrated synergy with Roaring Moon thanks to each covering each other's weaknesses. Iron Moth gives us an intimidating special attacker, the 6th highest special attack in the pool, but being faster than the 5 mons ahead of it. Iron Moth has a wide move pool, and like Moon can run either Choice Specs, Choice Scarf, and boost energy to unlock its Quark Drive ability, but Boots will probably be a must some weeks. It also has the ability to put down Toxic Spikes and spread fast Toxics, thanks to being able to never miss Toxic as a poison type. Overall, I'm very happy with our first 2 picks. I think they complement each other very nice. But after 30 picks, I decided that I needed to draft a pair of Pokemon that can support both Moon and Moth offensively and defensively. With our 3rd pick, we got none other than Thundurus Incarnate, aka Thundy the Brain Heenan, a support Pokemon capable of much, much more. Despite Gen 9 power creep, Thundurus' 115 attack and 125 special attack can still hit pretty hard, and its base 111 speed gives another speedy Pokemon. But look, speed isn't a worry for Thundy, as we don't call him the brain for nothing. Thanks to Prankster, Thundurus can go first on any turn it's using a non-damaging move, and with moves like Thunder Wave, Taunt, and setup moves like Bulk Up and Nasty Plot, Thundy can affect the battle quickly and in a big way. But what might be its best form of support for this team, Thundurus has a unique status as the only Prankster Pokemon with both Sunny Day and Electric Terrain, being able to unlock both Roaring Moon and Iron Moth's special abilities, giving them the ability to run a Choice Band or Specs and get a speed boost from their ability, or vice versa. And all that support is nice, but Thundurus also has a great second ability in Defiant, being able to punish stat drops and getting a +2 attack boost, and it has a good stab combo of Electric and Flying that hits everything but Electric for at least neutral damage. So with an offensive-minded supporter, we needed one that could help defensively. One who could take some hits and resist some of the weaknesses that Moth and Moon have. And immediately after picking Thundurus, I selected the biggest diva in the draft. Primarina complements both Moon and Moth very well as it checks the water, ice, dragon, and fighting types that threaten them, while appreciating them checking the grass, electric, and poison types that threaten her. While one of the highest priced water types, Primarina's secondary fairy typing gives us 2/3 of our Dragon Fire Steel core while being the water in our water, grass, fire trio. Primarina's defensive value to the team isn't the only thing she brings, as she brings a strong 126 special attack, giving us another strong special attacker, thanks to her Liquid Voice ability. She has a swath of sound-based moves like Psychic Noise, Hyper Voice, Alluring Voice, all which become a stab water move thanks to the ability, but great coverage without the ability. Primarina also has Flip Turn, which gives us 4 straight Pokemon with momentum moves. That's going to stop at our next pick, because at this point in the draft, we were very strong on the special side of things, especially defensively, as Thundurus had our lowest special defense at base 80. I felt we needed to up our physical defense, and with our next pair of picks, I wanted to shore up that part of our team. And who better than my guy, the Pogworm himself. The Legend Eater himself, Randy Orton, comes in as a great fit, able to eat up the ground type moves that especially Iron Moth doesn't want to take. At an insane 145 base defense and weighing in at almost 700 pounds, Orthworm can hit hard with body presses and heavy slams without investing too much into attack. Orthworm also provides us our Hazard Master with spikes and rocks. While Orthworm could benefit from a move like Roar or even Stone Edge, he provides a great value as a tough to remove Pokemon, especially with support from his teammates. Especially an old teammate he's quite familiar with. Our 6th round pick, the big dog of the T-Tars himself, Volcanion Reigns, the tribal chief of versatility. The Spring Fling Knockout Champion returns to the team. Packing a mythical status, Canyon Reigns provides us another bulky water type and special attacking demon. I've talked about Volcanion a lot this gen, but it is really one of the most underrated Pokemon in my opinion. Packing 5 resists, 3 of which are quad resists, and an immunity to water, and a surprisingly effective 120 base defense, Volcanion is equally effective as taking hits and threatening out thanks to its diverse move pool, which includes moves like Sludge Wave, Earth Power, and Flash Cannon, as well as Earthquake, Body Press, Wild Charge, and Stone Edge, threatening any and all who will find themselves across from the chief himself. After filling out the defenses of the team, I finally looked around the league and in the rest of the draft, and I realized that the rest of the league was going on a run of hazard removers and Terra Cap. So my next pair of picks were decided. I would get our removal, and I would get at least one of my Terra Captains of choice. With our 7th pick in the draft, we ended up selecting Cyclizar, whom I was excited to use, but it wasn't my preferred choice. But thankfully in Grace, my preferred choice became available as we dropped Cyclizar and picked up Bramblegast as our first remover. In honor of my pal Diabeto, this Bramblegast, aka Diabeto, is ready to prove the doubters wrong under the T-Tars banner. I believe Diabeto is capable of much, much more. At base 115 attack, Bramblegast has 2 great abilities with Wind Rider, making it immune to wind moves like Hurricane, Blizzard, and Heat Wave, while also giving it an attack boost. It also has Infiltrator, to hit opponents hard behind screens and substitutes. While its best moves are Poltergeist and Power Whip, they're not my favorite moves, but should they land, they will do massive damage. And I'm looking forward to using this silly guy in unexpected ways. Watch out though, I heard he ate some guy's son before. Following Bramblegast, I felt like doubling up on grass type removers, and also getting our first Terra Captain. So in the 8th round, I selected Hisuian Decidueye. Psycho Decidueye is a Pokemon that I've been wanting to get some time. Psycho Decidueye is a Pokemon that I've been wanting to get for some time, especially since I watched Useless Umbreon go nuts with it in a single match. The grass fighting type gives us a Pokemon with flexible stat spreads, with 112 attack but solid bulk at 88 HP and 95 special defense. It also has a flexible moveset with setup options in Bulk Up, Swords Dance, and Nasty Plot, huge wall breaking moves like Brave Bird and Stab Close Combat, and support moves in Defog, Haze, and Knockoff. As a Terra Captain, Psycho Decidueye can tear into 3 types, those being Fighting for boosting its close combat and signature move Triple Arrows, Steel to counter the Psychic, Fairy, Ice, and Flying weaknesses, and Rock to counter the Fire and Flying weaknesses. I think these 3 types will help the Decidueye be a key contributor this season, whether it's as a hazard-removing support mon or a physical wall breaker. As we head towards the tail end of the draft, I was trying to figure out if I needed more offense or more defense. Mind you, I still had Cyclozar at this time, so I needed a Ghost type and something to resist ice moves. So going into what would be our final 2 picks, I decided to address those needs. In the 9th round, I selected Houndstone, a defensive ghost type to help the team with our weaknesses of fighting. But with the addition of Brambleghast and Grace, I was able to swap out one normal type for another. We added Ursaluna to the team, giving us another bulky mon with offensive potential. With a sky-high 140 physical attack and 130 HP, this fat bear is deserving of the title Yoko Luna. Ursaluna also gives us a ground type to give us an electric immunity, and with the Guts ability, Ursaluna can drop a bomb on our opponents with Facade and Guts boosted headlong rushes. Ursaluna is slow and fat, but it hits like a goddamn truck. Don't be surprised though if you see me run some different sets with this Ursaluna, as it gets a variety of useful moves like Drain Punch, Body Press, Trailblaze, Play Rough, and setup moves like Bulk Up, Swords Dance, and Belly Drum. Hell, it even gets Sunny Day to help Roaring Moon out. So while I will miss the Ghost Dog, life is better when you have a fat bear that you can rely on. And closing things out for this team is my guy Cornman's Probopass, aka Nigel Cornberry. Another steel type does give this team a bit of a fighting weak spot, but thankfully for the team, Probopass is our second Terra Captain. We have Terra Fighting to get even more out of Body Press thanks to our 145 defense stat, Terra Ghost to flip our quad weakness to fighting, and Terra Grass to flip our quad weakness to ground. Probopass has a wide set of moves ranging from Stab, Power Gem, and Flash Cannon to coverage in Earth Power, Dazzling Gleam, and Discharge, as well as a Volt Switch for slow switches. There's even support moves like Stealth Rock, Thunder Wave, and Sunny Day. So this is the team. I'm very happy with it. We have threats on both sides and we have some good walls. Very excited to get this team. Very excited for this season. I'm very excited. Looking forward to using a variety of sets throughout the season, and hopefully we will be able to crack the top 8 by the end of the season. But the competition is tough as nails this season, especially with only 16 general managers, and we get to take on none other than the Tone and his Miami Marlins to kick off the season next week. So I will see you next week. If no one has said it to you today, allow me to be the first one to say it to you. I love you. Peace.